Hey guys, how you doing? Good night. I want to talk to you tonight about DP and DR, Depersonalisation Disorder and Derealization Disorder. It's a disorder that can be caused by quite a few things. It can be from trauma, um, drug use, instability in families, however you're raised. It depends. It can be caused by quite a few things. In my case, I'd call it mainly like family instability and drug use and quite a lot of stress for a prolonged period of time. Um, DP, in my experience, I'm not really going to go into any science of it. I don't want to be factual here. I just want to talk about my own experience with DP. And what I can say is DP for me is something that you never get used to. I think people who have it would definitely agree you can't get used to it. You can have it for 3, 10, 20 years and you don't get used to it. And I've talked to people who've had it for like 35 years. I don't mean to scare you guys, but there are people who do let it linger, which I think, I don't want to blame you either, but a lot of us don't really do anything to fix it. We do what the books tell us to do, which is agree with it, accept it, and then you end up just, how do you say, prolonging it instead of actually thinking that you can actually do something about it, or you know, even get for help, because apparently CBT helps. Meditation, I've had friends who meditated for like a month and didn't have DP anymore, so that was interesting, but I've never been too good at the whole meditation thing. But yeah, DP is something that for me in the beginning there was symptoms really scary. Nowadays it's just not that bad anymore. Like, I can control it. I don't get scared of it anyway. There's still panicky symptoms that I can get, but they just don't scare me. Like, you get used to it in that sense, but it's still something that every day new symptoms occur and you know it's DP. Like, for example, in the beginning I used to have this weird thing where my leg or arms, any part of my body, couldn't touch something fully. Sorry, it couldn't touch something just a bit. It had to either touch it fully or not touch it. So like if my leg were slightly um slightly touching the bed or the table, you know when you're sitting on the table to eat and then the tablecloth kind of touches your leg or something, that slight touch really was agonizing to me, which is weird. But if I was fully touching it or not touching it at all, I'd be fine. I wouldn't feel anything. It's just anything. Nothing could be slightly touching anything, you know. Also, I used to have a lot of sleep paralysis. Wake up in the middle of the night, not be able to move, and then panic for like 10 seconds and be able to sleep again, which is weird. Vertigo, you get a lot of vertigo with it. Uh, and just other symptoms. It's a weird disorder, sorry, because it's something that makes you feel like everything you have is gonna kill you. I've had that for like 3 years, believing every single symptom I've ever had is just like symptoms of a heart attack or symptoms of something worse, and it's terrible. You feel like you're definitely gonna die all the time, and it's really annoying. It's agonizing, and it increases your panic, your anxiety. Obviously, it's linked to anxiety. I think one of the ways that I didn't cure my DP, but I treated it, was having anxiety pills. There was one which I'm probably gonna talk about later, which is a Chinese herbal medicine thing. It's called Bupleuri And Angelicae, but I'll probably put the name properly for you guys in the description. And it's a type of pill that really helped me. It's natural herbs, but it's good for anxiety, and it helps you also sleep better and have better dreams. And that, when I started taking that for quite a prolonged period of time, it helped me like have more moments of clarity. But to be honest, I feel like the thing that prolongs DP is just the fact that you kind of forget what clarity is. So you have this state of mind where you feel like you're in a game, and then you're just like, okay, so when am I out of it? You know, like what will it look like? You kind of forget. So I just really want to. DP is just something that hard to fathom really for someone who doesn't have it. You don't understand it because the person looking from the outside, you look completely normal. Like you probably couldn't tell otherwise that I have DP if you didn't know me or hear me say it. So it's something that it catches people also by surprise because it did. I remember even when I had my past with the bad drug experience, it didn't really get me on the day. It just gradually picked up the day after. It's like, or 2 days after. I just remember out of the blue having some really bad like hit to the head. I felt like my body vibrate. I actually felt like my brain did a flip in my head. That's what I felt. My brain did a backflip. I felt some really weird stomp feeling in my brain, and then everything went fuzzy. I started getting cold and vibrating, and then when I looked around, I had DP. And I remember it was so annoying because in the beginning it's hard for you to find out what it was because not many people have it. But I've joined lots of like Facebook groups on DP and DR, and then you kind of get used to it, and all these people post similar symptoms, and then you feel more at home. You feel like, yeah, there's people who I can connect to and talk about it, people who actually know what I'm going through. And I suggest that, to be honest. I think that what you should do is definitely go, if you have Facebook, join depersonalization groups, derealization groups, and talk to people there because it's one step closer when you have other people to talk to. You don't want to be alone and isolated with this because it makes you feel alone as it is. A lot of the times I feel like I'm never home with DP. You do stuff, it just doesn't feel right. And also the fact for it even been hard for me to work. Times when working has been annoying. I couldn't work properly. The vertigo, constant. I used to forget a lot in the beginning. Like, let's say if I just closed the door with the keys, I'd have to, like 10 seconds later I'd forget. And I'd have to come back and think, wait, did I actually do that? Did I close it or not? And then I have to check. I do that like 3-4 times. It's really annoying in the beginning. But I think you can get used to it after just training your brain to know what is actually wrong with you and what is just DP. Because you have to classify it as just DP. It's not that bad. It's not something that is actually killing you or gonna kill you. So for people who worry about that, like if you're just beginning to have DP, it's not gonna kill you. It's not your deathbed. I've had it for 3 years now, thinking I was gonna die every single day out of it, and I'm fine. Every blood test says I'm fine. A lot of people in the group also, they do MRIs, brain scans, and check if they have any particular problem with their brain, and it always says it's clear. So DP really is just a total change in your visuals. But I just hope you never stay alone. Do talk to people about it, because a lot of people worry, it's something people are going to think I'm crazy. Because I remember in the beginning I had that. I would look at myself in the mirror. I couldn't recognize who I was anymore. I just couldn't recognize it. And still today I feel like it doesn't feel right being me. And then you have to talk to people. You have to tell them what you feel. Because then the more you interact with other people, the less you isolate yourself, the more clarity you have, because you get distracted. I think the good thing about the meditation is just the fact you're always getting distracted. You should distract yourself all the time. Play games as well. Apparently it's really good for that. Sports, just have a lot of interactions. Because in the beginning I had more derealization than depersonalization. Derealization is more when things around you are not real. You feel really dreamlike. But depersonalization, you just feel really detached from yourself. And with derealization, it was weird. I look around and even like the buses would travel in slow motion. Or when I'd wave my hand, it feels like I could see ghost trails. At nighttime, you kind of get grainy visions, which is annoying because if the light's off, you can barely see anything. Everything's pitch black. And before, I used to be really good at seeing in the dark. Also, you get some weird symptoms like vibrating sometimes, heart palpitations a few times, and everything you think you're gonna die. Everything you're gonna look on Google and think, fuck, I have the worst thing ever. So that's really common with DP. You get a lot of floaters in your eyes when you look at like the sun or the light, any light. If you look around, you probably notice more floaters. But then again, with that, I kind of see a benefit of it, because I think that the more you believe that any little thing you have is serious, you tend to check more. Because for me, I have any little symptom and I go check in the doctors or check online, but that's already one step better than other people are doing, because people who don't have DP, they tend to ignore most symptoms, whereas people with DP, any little symptom, they go running to check, which is good, because then if you have any little symptom and you keep fixing it, you're constantly well, you know? So DP has its benefits, and to be honest, sometimes I use DP to, how do you say, zone out. I like it for that. Sometimes you just don't want to be annoyed, and I even let the crazy visuals take me, you know, I just look around and I just zone out because it helps. Also, I'm a musician, so I use DP a lot to write my music, to zone out and do stuff. So I think there's benefits of DP, and obviously a lot of negatives, but it's definitely something you can live with, you know. I want to keep posting videos about it in the future. I don't want to always talk about it, because I don't want to keep reminding you have it, or like getting people down. It's just something that I want to talk about shortly, about my experience, and tell you how I had it. And I'll probably make another video on it, but not too much. And also, if I do recover, which I surely hope I do, and if you check in the group of Depersonalization on Facebook, you'll probably have people who will recover. And I suggest you know, check out how they did it and try it yourself. But if I do recover, I definitely am going to make a video on it and tell people my way of doing it, you know. Whatever happens to me, I hope to help you guys. So yeah, I'll make a video soon, guys. So thanks for watching.